Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Western Police Bike, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road and maybe write a few tickets while I'm on my way up. I don't know. Have to see how well it actually gets up the mountain, first of all, to see if I can even catch any of these suspect-looking individuals up ahead of me. Though it would appear I have two fellow officers with me. In the top left is Commander Hobo, and in the top right is British Brandon. And then, of course, I am just the regular American Brandon, I guess. I don't know, I never really thought about it that way. In the middle, in the big part of the picture. And can I just say, and look, this isn't like a humble brag or anything like that, but this game looks stunning in 4K. Like, every time I really stop and look at it, it just... And that's what I get to do right now, is just stop and look while I'm talking to you. And it's... My God, it's beautiful. 4K OLED, in fact. Oh, my God. It's so yummy. But yeah, if you have the hardware to do it, check out this game in 4K. It's unbelievable how well something this old can take advantage of modern hardware and just look beautiful. Anyways, Western Police Bike, or Western Motorcycle Company, is the full name. As we learned while recording this video, Western Motorcycle Company and Western... Okay, Raven, knock it off. And Western, the helicopter manufacturer, are two different companies, so maybe they were once the same and then split, but they are two distinct entities within the GTA universe. And we learned that thanks to Commander Hobo, the holder of all the facts that you would ever need. But yeah, the police bike... So this was actually one of the few vehicles that I actually bothered to test, or try it out, practice a little bit. And my first run was way slower than this. And what I discovered is this is very much a momentum vehicle going up the mountain. If you do not keep your speed up, you will have a horrible time, because it bogs down, because it never wants to shift back down. And there, you can hear it there. It never wants to shift back down once it's up in a higher gear. And so if you do manage to lose your speed, it stays up in a higher gear and you just putter up the mountain. And it's just miserable. But I did manage to keep my speed up and turned in a fairly respectable time of 2 minutes, 28 seconds. So, will it off-road? Yeah, though, as you'll see in a moment, probably not the best idea. But let's talk stats as we put a question mark here in a second next to controlled, because, well, you'll see. So, overall, we've tested 489 vehicles. This is 27th. So, way up there. Interestingly enough, the vehicle that it's slower than, it is... The timer in the bottom right is minutes, seconds, and then frames. So 60 frames per second, and then to get the decimal, you divide that number there. Yeah, here we go. This is where the controlled descent isn't so controlled anymore. I divide that by 60 to get the decimal, so that's where I get the decimals from. This is 1 frame slower. I sped the footage up because nobody wants to watch me walk around trying to get back to my bike. 0.167 seconds slower than the Karen Woodlander HSW. By the way, Hobo's footage in the top left-hand corner is not frozen, as you can see on my screen now. My bike was just hanging in midair. Who knew police bikes can defy physics? Not me, and now Hobo's trying to run me over. He was mad because I shattered his windshield by having my bike land on it. I had bigger problems at the moment than worrying about his windshield. The police bike is 0.13, so 0.13 of a second faster than the Ocelot Virtue in terms of emergency vehicles. Out of the 21 we have tested, this is second. It is 1.4 seconds slower than the Vapid Cara Pursuit. I'm working my way to get back up to the trail at this moment. And it is 1.8 seconds faster than the Canis Terminus Patrol. And from money fronts, it has that same split to the Karen Woodlander, making it second place. That 1 frame slower. But it is second out of the 12 that we've tested. and it is 0.417 seconds faster than a Karen Everon. And I need a drink of water. Excuse me for just a moment. Okay, that was a bigger drink of water than I expected. Actually, no, I just put the cap on my water bottle really tight last time. It took me a second to get it unscrewed. Yeah, I shouldn't admit that, should I? I almost went off right there again, by the way. As you saw, the Western Police Bike, I don't know why I'm saying the full name every time. I'm suddenly Mr. Boss, fuck the world, or whatever his name is. Yeah, it doesn't have the best brakes. And, boom, there we saw it. When you land, it bounces a lot and big. So it makes going down the mountain incredibly terrifying. Looks like Raven must have had an issue at some point as well, because as I look up to the top right-hand corner of the screen, I just see his character tumbling, just doing barrel rolls down the side of the hill. You gotta love it. But I have finally made it down to mostly safe terrain, though, you know, things can still happen down here. We'll see during the damage descent, even though you get down low, does not mean, wow, going down low means you're out of danger. I don't think that's how that works. But just because you're at lower elevations does not mean things can't still be risky. But we are nearly concluded with our controlled descent. That wasn't so controlled. We're down 4 minutes, 34 seconds, basically 35. We're going to let Hobo get his jump in here. However, Raven is on the wrong side of the mountain, so we're not going to be able to wait for him. So as soon as Hobo sorts out his police car there we go. We'll head back to the top of Mount Chiliad. Those are Raven's sirens, and mine, by the way, because I figured I was about to have an emergency. And I'm not wrong, because as we fling these off to test for safety, yeah, it's probably a bad idea to take a motorcycle in this type of environment. But we do it anyway. And as you can see, you know, from our rigorous scientific testing, it is a very dangerous proposition. Sped up the footage once again, just so you didn't have to look at another 18 seconds of me walking. Instead, it was like 3 seconds. You're welcome. And the way you can say thank you is become a channel member. Or Patreon supporter, or Twitch subscriber, even though I hardly ever live stream anymore. Or subscribe on Discord. That exists. Ow. No one's ever taken advantage of it, but it exists, and all of those get you access to a behind-the-scenes version of our community videos, which are the better versions, because instead of my commentary, what you're listening to right now, me just sending noise out of my face hole, you get to hear our conversation in Discord. Plus, it's less edited. You can see some outtakes, and this one had some outtakes, let me tell you. It's a good time. So check that out. Information in the description down below. And while you're down there, check out Will It Off-Road Bingo. Ow, I just ate a tree. Check out Will It Off-Road Bingo, where you can play, well, bingo. If you just click on generate a new card once you get to the site, and then if something happens in the video that's on your card, you click it, and if you get bingo, you'll be our 6th ever winner out of 251 videos, which tells me I really need to redo the bingo card, because we should have more winners than that. But I'll get to it eventually. Nobody wants to help, and I'm not that creative when it comes to ideas for stuff to put on a bingo card. So yeah, gonna get over the woodpile. But as I mentioned, being down here, does not mean it's the safest conditions, though that might be one of the best endings for a damage descent ever. So the damage on the police bike, the headlights busted out. I guess maybe it's a little dirty, and I died twice, and that's it. Like, there's not any bent body panels. The engine's not smoking. No, Ravens is smoking pretty bad, but he doesn't put armor on his vehicles, and he has a Dutchman kicking him quite often. But those are our support vehicles from the front and the rear, which is going to bring us to our next vehicle. The Declasse Walton L35 drift vehicles and the mountain just are such a bad combination. You know, you need grip and traction to really get up the mountain, anything reliably, and this I'll go ahead and spoil it. We've only tested 3 drift vehicles, and this one's the second place, even though it takes forever. Like, just for... part of the problem is, as readily evident right there, I really suck at drifting. Like, I don't get why I'm so bad at drifting in video games. Like, in a real car, especially on a racetrack, I could pull off not a drift. I've never driven a proper, like, drift car. But I could pull off a power slide in a track car. No problem. I can hang the back end out and get it to stay back there, converting tires into smoke the whole time. You're looking out the driver's window or the passenger window while I'm, going around a corner, because that's what's in the straight line ahead of me. I can do that all day. But in video games, I just can't do it. I cannot drift in a video game to save my life. None of them. Not a single freaking video game that involves drifting can I pull it off. And I don't know why my brain has never been able to connect the two. I don't know. I don't get it. But there are some places, like right back there going over that little hill, that the lack of grip actually kind of helps it get up. Here in our first attempt, we ran into some problems and had to restart it. Thankfully, that didn't happen again. I admire Hobo's attempt. I didn't really pay attention when I was editing this together if he actually gets that big rig up there or not. I mean, he's got plenty of time. It's going to take me a while. Oh, he's in trouble, though. Oh, dear. Oh, Hobo. That's unfortunate. Yeah. By the way, I did change the design. If you saw my video on the L35, Walton L35 drift when it came out, I had that skater livery on it, and then I discovered that like nearly everyone used that livery, and I like having unique designs for my vehicles, so I changed it for this video. Went with something much brighter, much lighter, much simpler. The Dinka connection is spurious at best. The only thing we could come up with is that GM licensed out the S10 back in the day to Isuzu. And maybe that's the connection, but I really thought that Isuzu in the game was Shih Tzu. So who knows? I do know I need another drink of water, though. Looks like Hobo's going for another vehicle. Nice refreshing water. You should probably hear me screw the lid back on my water bottle. I've had this water bottle forever. I think it just holds up. Stainless steel, really thick gauge. Doesn't need any insulation because it's such thick steel. It just keeps everything inside nice and cold. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm just talking about random things because this truck is going to take forever. And I just don't know what else to talk about with this truck. I do like the design of it. I like the wide body kit. I like the interior. I like the race truck look of it. I just wish that we could get a race truck version that isn't drift. I don't know why I ever thought I was going to get up the last little climb this way. But I kept trying. And did more sideways, I think, than up. And then got really scared because I thought I was going to fall off right there and never get back up again. So I'm like, okay, I haven't learned my lesson from the last 2 drift cars, completely forgetting until I got down to this point and then had just traumatic flashbacks. This doesn't work because these bushes that are really close to the path, well, you'll see, they just, drift cars, yeah, get stuck on them and immediately get pulled over that direction. And the same thing's going to happen right here. This gap's just not wide enough, and it just instantly pulls me. However, as it turns out, all I really needed was this extra little bit right here. I didn't need to go all the way down, but live and learn. We actually made it up, and we're at the top of Mount Chiliad. 4 minutes, 53 seconds. So will it off-road? I mean, yeah, it made it, but I wouldn't recommend it. This was so freaking unpleasant. It was such a not fun time. Let's talk stats though real quick. Out of 489 vehicles, this came in at 427th. So there's only 62 vehicles that did worse, and out of those 62, 30 of them, almost half of them, DNF'd. So this is really only better than 32 cars. It is 3.95 seconds slower than the Vainglorious anti-aircraft trailer that was towed by the, in trouble. Lack of grip. Yep. It was towed by the Sadler that spawns with it. And it is 5.3 seconds faster than the Vapid Clown Van. And by the way, if you think I'm getting this back up to the trail, I'm just going to go ahead and disappoint you now. It's going to be a while before we see anything close to the normal trail again. Everybody was encouraging me to just convert this to the damage descent. But that wouldn't be fair to the damage descent because we didn't jump off the ramp. So, you know, I couldn't convert this to a damage descent, even though this is very much a damaging descent. Back to stats, though. I mentioned earlier it's second out of 3 drift vehicles. 35 and 3/4 seconds slower than the Declasse Drift Tampa. However, it is 2 minutes, 2.283 seconds faster than the Fathom FR36 when you throw the drift tune on that. And out of the dozen vehicles that we have tested for money fronts, this is, of course, dead last. It is a minute, 42.23 seconds slower than the Declasse Tampa GT HSW, which you will see again very soon. You'll also see that Karen Woodlander again very soon, along with a couple of others. Because even though this video wraps up the testing portion of our season, by the way, I don't know why I ever thought what I'm about to do is a good idea. I really thought I could get grip and get across in time. Why I thought that, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, this video wraps up the formal season for Money Fronts as far as the testing, running them up and down, and getting times. However, at the end of every update season for World Off-Road, we take the 2 fastest and the 2 slowest, and we race them against each other up and down Mount Chiliad. So you've still got a couple more weeks of World Off-Road coming to you. It'll just be in a racing format. 2 weeks from now, we'll probably do one of the fastest, one of the slowest, and then 2 weeks after that, we'll do them again. And by then, man, we'll be getting close to October, and we'll only have a few weeks off before the December update hits, if there is one, but I suspect there will be one. I can't imagine that they won't at least throw some cars at us for an update. But, well, you're down for the controlled descent. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Let's go back to the top of Mount Chiliad after everybody finishes their jumps. Fling this thing off the side to do some scientific research. And I'm going to once again take a drink of water. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with my voice today, but it just keeps wanting to go and, you know, scratchy, and I don't know. Very weird. So yeah, this thing was already fairly battered, so there's not a whole lot left to fall off. I guess maybe the tailgate could fall off and the other door. Or wait, oh no, I still have both my doors, so I guess we still have a little bit to lose. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, spoke too soon. There goes the door. It's also incredibly dirty. Like, that white paint at the bottom has just turned very brown. It is very, very, very brown. Something just fell off. Oh, it was off of hobos. Speaking of brown, it's brown and tan. But yeah, nothing about this truck on this mountain was pleasant. But I do like the Walton L35 Drift, even though it has a stupid name. So, like, the original Walton should have just been the L35. Or just the Walton, one of the two. And then the big 4x4 should have been the Walton L35. And then this should have just been the Walton Drift. It shouldn't have the L35. Like, the L35 sounds like you know, since we're comparing it to Chevy, like, you know, their ZR4 or whatever they do for their off-road stuff. I don't know. I don't keep up with Chevy trucks. You know, if they made a little tiny one again, I'd probably pay attention. But I really want a tiny truck. I don't need a truck for anything, but in real life, I just want one. I just want a little truck. You know, I'm a single guy. I don't ever go anywhere with any other people. You know, because I'm antisocial. So I just want a little pickup truck because I think they're awesome. But yeah, I don't know. The naming convention on this truck is weird. But we are down 1 minute 55 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on our support vehicles. They called themselves emotional support vehicles on this particular day. All the windows and lights gone. The fenders, the hood, and the left door are up on Mount Chiliad in a used parts sale. It has bent wheels, more bent than normal, and significant body damage. And I want to thank you as we take a look at our support vehicles. I want to thank you very much for watching. I know there are tons of different things you could have done with your time today, and you chose to hang out with us here on Mount Chiliad in wildly inappropriate vehicles as we found out if they'll off-road. We'll be back in 2 weeks with Will It Off-Road at the Races, but until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.